Good morning, children. In today's session, we are going to see, I'm going to take class for 7th standard science, term 3 children. Already I finished one lesson. Now you need 4 chemistry in daily life, okay? So it's in page number 65. After buying the book, you can see the book and learn, children. Now listen. Lesson name is Chemistry in Daily Life, okay? It's a term 3 portion. Introduction. During the Bangladesh Liberation war means, war in Australia. During the Bangladesh war, therapy with oral rehydration solution. Oral rehydration solution. Okay? That is ORS. You know what is ORS, right? If doctors, if we have any diarrhea or any vomiting like that, doctors give us the ORS to drink. Okay? The full form for ORS is oral rehydration solution. Okay, so they give us because the water in our body goes out, expels out, comes out இல்லையா. ஸோ அந்த டைமில் நமக்கு இது குடித்தோன்னா நம்ம பாடிக்கு ஸ்ட்ரென்த்தும் கிடைக்கும், நமக்கு வாட்டர் லிக்விட் வந்து நம்ம பாடியில் ரீட்டைன் ஆகும். ஓகே, ஃபார் திஸ் சொல்லி ORS is used. It is oral rehydration solution in 1971. So on that day, in those days itself, in 1971, reduced cholera death rates from 50 to 3% among thousands of refugees. Who are the refugees, children? That is people who forced to leave the country during the time of war. Okay, they are called as the refugees. So they had the cholera, and after using this ORS from 50% to 3%, cholera has been reduced after using the ORS. An Indian doctor, Dilip, had to manage the shortage of saline bottles. So they were using the saline bottles, but it was very shortage, and they have to cope up with the dehydration faced by the refugees. Doctors showed the efficacy of ORS in cholera cases among Bangladeshi refugees. Efficacy means effect. Okay, effect of ORS in the cholera cases among the Bangladesh refugees. Further, field trial during the cholera epidemic in Manipur, okay, in Manipur also, attested to its effect that ORS has saved the millions of children around the world. Okay, saved the life of the millions of children around the world. ORS, okay, there's so much effect on this ORS. Then look at the above information. So I have told you this information. What do you infer from this? Now you get the curiosity to know about ORS and its function. So you want to know about the ORS and how it functions. In addition to this, let us know about some of the common medicines and how do they work. So we are going to learn more about the medicines and how do they work. In the normal healthy intestine, there's a continuous exchange of water. So in the normal person, okay, the normal person intestine, continuous exchange of water takes place through the intestinal wall. Up to 20 liters of water is secreted. Okay, how many liters? 20 liters of water is secreted and nearly as much of reabsorbed every 24 hours. Secreted means up to 20 liters of water comes out and it's reabsorbed again within the 24 hours. Then however, when a person becomes sick due to diarrhea means dysentery, loose motion, continuous dysentery, water is expelled, that is comes out, and the body is not able to retain the liquid balance. So in the body you don't have enough liquid, okay, do not have a liquid balance. This is called as dehydration. So nama continuous diarrhea, vomiting irkum podu, diarrhea, mainly diarrhea, what happens, nama body la vandu liquid retain agadu, retain la thangi irukadu, so namakku adu velila vandite irukum. So that is called as a dehydration. It is not the diarrhea that kills, but the dehydration resulting from the infection that kills. If more than 10% of the body fluid is lost, death occurs. 10% of body fluid kuda nama body la illana, the death occurs. Okay. Now ORS. It's a special combination of what is a ORS. Okay, adha enna idu vandu add pannirukanga. That is special combination of dry salts that is mixed with water, safe water, fresh water. Okay, it's mixed with the safe water. It helps to reduce the fluid lost due to diarrhea. So it helps to reduce the fluid lost due to the diarrhea. Appo namakku nariya fluid liquid vandu expel agudhu illaya, so it reduces the loss of liquid. In the state of diarrheal disease, there is an imbalance. So nama body la imbalance irukku and much more water is secreted. Then in addition to water loss, sodium and potassium are also lost, that is salt, okay, is lost from our body. A certain concentration of sodium means that is salt, is needed for proper functioning of the body. Some amount of salt is also needed for proper functioning in our body. For example, only with adequate means correct, okay, sodium concentration in the intestinal wall water can be absorbed through a process known as osmosis. So water can be absorbed by a process known as osmosis. Okay. So what is osmosis? That is adequate sodium, correct sodium concentration in the intestinal wall. There water can be absorbed by a process known as a osmosis. If there is an inadequate salt means not correct proportion. Inadequate salt in the intestinal of body will not be able to absorb water. If you have inadequate salt in your body, it will not absorb water in your body. Okay. Then the saline bottle directly transfers water and sodium into the bloodstream. Bloodstream means that is blood flows inside your body. That is bloodstream. Okay. However, for the saline water is administered. So how it goes inside? It goes through the mouth, then the intestinal wall, and it's not able to absorb neither water nor sodium. And doctors found that if glucose, that is sugar, glucose is nothing but the sugar, is added to the salt solution, then all the three, that is water, sodium and glucose, are absorbed by the body. So sodium is salt, glucose is sugar. Then water, all these three are absorbed by the body. Did you understand, children? Now, during diarrhea, the intestine is still able to absorb glucose molecules. Thus, the ORS solution uses the glucose molecules to enable the sodium to balance the salt, that is sodium. ORS is an effective treatment for the 90 to 95% of patients suffering from diarrhea. Okay, that is during the time of diarrhea, ORS is a very effective treatment given to the patients. Okay. Then let us see homely made ORS. Now we are buying the ORS from the outside. So how will you make the ORS at home? Okay, that is, let us see homely made of ORS. Be very careful to mix 6 level teaspoon of sugar. Okay, what the proportion is it? That correct level only you have to use. Okay, too much also you should not use, less amount also. So 6 teaspoon of sugar and half level teaspoon of salt. 6 teaspoon sugar and half teaspoon salt. Okay, half level of teaspoon salt is in 1 liter of clean water. 1 liter of clean water you have to use for the ORS. Okay, 1 liter of clean water, half tablespoon, a teaspoon salt and 6 teaspoon sugar. All this dissolved makes a ORS. Okay. Too much of sugar can make diarrhea worse. Nama too much of sugar add pannitona diarrhea inno worse aidum. Okay. Then too much salt can be extremely harmful to the child. Neenga salt nariya use panningana, it will be harmful to a person those who intake the ORS, those who drink this ORS. Okay. Then making the mixture a little too diluted is not harmful. Romba thanniya neenga use panningana, it's not harmful to a person who drinks this. Okay. Now, through the process of osmosis, salts and sugar pull water into your bloodstream and speed up the rehydration. That is, during this process, osmosis, salt and the sugar, that is, when it goes inside your bloodstream, thus speed up the rehydration. Rehydration means the liquid retains in your body. Then antacid. Next is the antacid. Next, we are going to learn about the antacid. Now, antacid is a set of symptoms caused by excess production of acid. நம்ம வந்து gastric problems சொல்றோம், நம்ம பாடியில் acidity ஆயிடுதுன்னு சொல்றோம். That is acid by gastric glands of the stomach. Okay, that is excess production of acid by the gastric glands in your stomach. Your stomach naturally, எப்போவுமே வந்து நமக்கு naturally produce ஆகிறது வந்து hydrochloric acid to help in the digestion and the breakdown of food. What happens naturally வந்து நம்ம stomachல வந்து there is a natural produced gastric juice or the hydrochloric acid to help in the digestion and breaking down of food. Naturally நம்ம stomachல நம்ம bodyல இருக்கு. Acidity issues arise when there is excess production of this acid due to the triggers such as acidic foods, then spicy food, alcohol, dehydration and stress. இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது நம்ம பாடியில் வந்து என்னது நம்ம hydrochloric acid or this gastric excess iodine. Because of this, acidity is involved in our body. That is why when acidity occurs, the excess acid may move up from your stomach to your esophagus. That is, அப்படியே நமக்கு வந்து esophagus வழியா வந்து நம்ம வந்து வாய் வழியா அந்த acidity form ஆகுது இல்லையா? So, acidity tissues arise when the excess production of this gastric acid in your stomach. Now, when this acidity arises, children, when you eat spicy food and then when you drink alcohol, then acidic foods, dehydration and stress, உங்கள் ஸ்டமக்கில் வந்து அசிடிட்டி வந்து நிறைய ஆகுது due to the excess food. Okay, and then and the excess on it moves from the stomach to your esophagus and comes out. Okay, then when we have acidity or heartburn, that is நெஞ்செரிச்சல் சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, heartburn, we are administered a class of medicines. ஸோ அப்படி இருக்கும்போது நம்ம வந்து medicines, we are taking the medicines called as the antacid. That medicine is called as the antacid. நமக்கு அந்த மாதிரி gastric problemோ இல்லை நெஞ்செரிச்சலோ, that is heartburn இருக்கும்போது நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோம், we are taking this antacid medicines. Then they are actually weak bases. As learned in chemistry, when a base is mixed with acid, neutralization reaction occurs. Neutralization na balancing, both acid and base occurs. When antacid are consumed na நம்ம வந்து எடுக்கிறது சாப்பிட்றது, it creates a chemical reaction in the stomach lowering the acidity. ஸோ நம்ம அந்த antacid intake பண்ணுறோன்னா இந்த chemical reaction ஜாஸ்தியாக அந்த that is acidity வந்து கம்மி பண்ணும் and makes the digestive acids less corrosive and damaging. ஸோ less damage ஆகும், நிறைய இதாகாது. சரியா, நம்ம வந்து அதுக்காக antacid எடுத்துக்கணும். The chemical reaction created when magnesium hydroxide neutralizes HCl in the stomach and as well as in the intestine. The next we are going to see the antibiotics. Okay, antacid na ipo ponjudiliya. Next is the antibiotics. Now antibiotic, that is ages ago, that is ரொம்ப நாளுக்கு வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி, there was a time when even a small infected wound, ஏதோ கொஞ்சமாக அடிப்பட்டாலோ இல்லை நமக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் ஆனாலோ there causes a death. அந்த காலத்தில் ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு வந்து எந்த ஒரு மெடிசன்ஸும் அந்த டைமில் கிடையாது. எந்த ஒரு இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் ஆனாலும் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அப்படியே மெடிசன்ஸ் எடுக்காமல் விட்டுறதுனால it leads to death. Okay, then the discovery of antibiotics changed all. அப்பதுக்கு அப்புறம் discovery of antibiotics came and then after that everything changed. Okay, now armed with antibiotics, many deadly infectious disease can be tackled. ஸோ நம்ம எந்த ஒரு இன்ஃபெக்ஷியஸ் டிசீஸாக இருந்தாலும் அதை நம்ம வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஆன்டிபயோட்டிக்ஸ் எடுத்து டேக்கிள் பண்ணலாம். புரியுதா? which once meant to cause serious illness and death. இப்போ வந்து சாதாரண இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் எல்லாம் வந்து அந்த டைமில் அது ரொம்ப பெரிய டிசீஸ் மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு, பெரிய இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் ஆன மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஸோ இட் லீட்ஸ் டு டெத். now இப்போ ஆன்டிபயோட்டிக்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து டிஸ்கவர் ஆனதுனால we are able to tackle the deadly infectious disease also. Okay, then the discovery of antibiotics was an accident. ஸோ எப்படி அது டிஸ்கவர் ஆச்சு? What happened in 1928 while a British bacteriologist, that is Dr. Alexander Fleming. So bacteriologist, what the name is? Dr. Alexander Fleming. How he discovered this antibiotic? Okay, what he discovered, children? He discovered the antibiotic called a penicillin. Right, நம்ம படிச்சிருக்கோம் GK-ல எல்லாமே. The research on the Staphylococcus bacteria. This bacteria was meant to cause deadly disease such as pneumonia, sore throat, that is pain in the throat, etc. The discovery happened while he was culturing the bacteria in a petri dish. At that time he went on a holiday. He was culturing a bacteria in a petri dish. At that time he went on a holiday, leaving carelessly the dish in the laboratory table without cleaning and sterilization. Sterilization means without removing or killing the microorganisms. So he kept on the petri dish itself and left in a holiday. After several days when he returned back, so many days it was kept like that only. After when he returned back, what happened? He observed the growth of mold. Mold means it's a type of fungus which you see in the bread. Breadல நம்ம அந்த green color இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கணும். Stale breadனா அழிஞ்சு போன breadலலாம் நம்ம மேலே ஃபங்கஸ் பார்க்குறோம் இல்லையா, சாப்பிட முடியாத அளவுக்கு இருக்கும் இல்லையா, அதுதான் மோல்டுங்கிறது. So in a part of a petri dish, he saw the petri dish. He also observed there was no bacterial growth surrounding the mold. அதில் மட்டும்தான் இருந்துச்சு, சரௌண்டிங் எதுவுமே இல்லை. Then which indicated that something in the mold had prevented the growth of bacteria. So on further research, Fleming identified that the mold juice was capable of killing a variety of harmful bacteria such as Streptococcus, Meningococcus and a diphtheria bacillus. Then that's how the world's first antibiotic, penicillin, was discovered. This is the story how the penicillin antibiotic was discovered by Dr. Alexander Fleming. Then Fleming named the mold Penicillium notatum, from which the antibiotic penicillin was isolated. Then biosynthesized chemicals isolated from the plants or the microorganism and used as medicines against these diseases. And these are called as antibiotics. So this biosynthesized chemicals that was taken from the plant or the microorganisms is used as medicines against these infectious disease. For example, like tetracyclines, penicillins, all these are the medicines. Now today, many infectious diseases in the world are rare due to the advancement in the antibiotic research. So many இப்போ வந்து நிறைய வந்து நமக்கு இன்ஃபெக்ஷஸ் டிசீஸ் எல்லாம் வருதில்ல பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் திஸ் ஆன்டிபயோட்டிக்ஸ். ஏதாவது அது வந்து அறிகுறி பட்டாலே நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோம், ஆன்டிபயோட்டிக்ஸ் கொடுத்த உடனே அது சரியாயிடும். ஸோ மெனி ரேர் யூ கேன் see because of the advancements of the antibiotic research. Next, however, the overuse of antibiotics makes inactive or less effective. நம்ம நிறைய antibiotics யூஸ் பண்ணோம்னா நம்ம பாடி என்ன பண்ணோம், inactive பண்ணோம் and less effective also. Okay. Next is analgesics. Next is analgesics. Okay, analgesics is injury, அடிபடுறது, burn, then pressure from sharp objects, ஏதாவது knife, scissors அதனால கட் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா, another condition cause pain in our body. நம்ம பாடியில் என்ன ஆகுது, இந்த மாதிரி கட் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா இல்லை ஏதாவது இன்ஜுரினா நமக்கு என்ன பண்ணுது, பெயின் வருது இல்லையா நம்ம பாடியில். ஸோ the unpleasant feeling, அந்த பெயின் வந்து நமக்கு ஒரு unpleasant feeling இல்லையா, maybe burning for example is in the tissue around the injury, cause headache or ache of arthritis, that is ache in a pain of arthritis, then back pain, neck pain, then joint pain, headache, then pain from nerve damage ஆகுது இல்லையா, pain from any injury ஏதாவது நமக்கு அடிப்படுதுன்னா, and pain related to some of the diseases, ஏதாவது நமக்கு disease இருக்குது அதனால தான் நமக்கு கிடைக்கிற pain. These are some of the most common pains we get in our body, like back pain, neck pain and the arthritis. இது எல்லாமே வந்து common pain we get. The unpleasant emotion of pain is created in the brain. Okay, it's created in the brain and not at the spot of the injury. நமக்கு இன்ஜுரியில் வந்து அந்த பெயின் இல்லை, நம்ம பிரெயினில் தான் நமக்கு அந்த இன்ஜுரி இதாகுது. ஸோ இஃப் த பெயின் இஸ் சிவியர், ஸோ நமக்கு சிவியர் வந்து பெயின் சிவியர் ஆச்சுன்னா, சே ஃப்ரம் burn, the impulse is sent straight to the immediate response. Okay, so reacting to the signal from the brain, muscle pull our hand from the fire. ஸோ நமக்கு அந்த ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் இருக்கும்போது நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோம், ஃபயர்லேருந்து கை எடுக்கிறோம், we pull our hand from the fire. So straight it goes to the brain. Okay. Then reacting to the message received from the pain spot, the brain sends back the message that is initiate the healing process. Healing process na gunamakkadhu. Seriya? Then analgesics or the pain killers. Analgesics are nothing but the pain killers. Analgesics ku enna solrom? Pain killers. Pain killer tablets nama saapidrom illaya? There. Suppresses na kammi pannadhu. Reduces the chemicals released by the body. They suppress the feel of pain. This analgesic drug relieves the pain either in the CNS. CNS is nothing but the central nervous system, and without altering the consciousness. Okay, without consciousness, நம்ம உணர்வுன்னு சொல்லல, without altering the consciousness. So analgesics are the painkillers. So this reduces the pain in our body if we take these painkillers. When we are affected by fever, so நம்ம fever வந்தாலே நம்ம என்ன tablet எடுக்கிறோம், paracetamol. So it's a painkiller. So affected by fever, often we are administered paracetamol. So paracetamol interact with the receptors and reduce the intensity of pain signals to the brain. So the pain signals to the brain and suppresses, that is reduces the release of substance called prostaglandins that increase the pain and body temperature. The prostaglandins are the reduce pannum. So by it reduces by increasing the pain and body temperature. Then next we will see the then traditional anti-inflammatory agents. What are the anti-inflammatory agents? Non-narcotic and narcotic drugs. Okay. Then antipyretic. Antipyretic is a normal course. A body temperature ranges from 98.4 to 98.6. A normal body temperature வந்து 98.4 to 98.6 degrees, right? So when the temperature goes above this level is called fever. So இதுக்கு மேல நமக்கு temperature காமிச்சுதுன்னா it's called as a fever. So most common cause of fever is infection. அதாவது நமக்கு infection ஆனதா நமக்கு வந்து fever வருது. Bacteria and virus cannot thrive, cannot live above a certain temperature. To defend, to protect this virus and bacteria, the immunity system increases the body temperature. So body temperature it pannum. Then once infection is sensed, the immune system releases a chemical called pyrogen. These pyrogens are released into the bloodstream, released into the, that is flows in the circulatory system, reaches the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is present at the base of the brain, that is hypothalamus. The function of the hypothalamus is to control the body temperature. What is the function of the hypothalamus? To control the body temperature, and sensing this pyrogens, hypothalamus increases the body temperature by releasing a chemical called prostaglandin. Now normally little fever is good for our health. If the internal body temperature exceeds 105, what happens? Cause damage to our body protein and experience prolonged high fever may also cause death. Okay children.